Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Brother JINGS DE GUZMAN.
Si Kuya Joe Domingo.
At ang aming pong palutuntunan ay spreading the words of God on oneness. Na ito po ang aming script po ay nandito na sa libro na parang Bible form po. Bible form, hindi makita. Na 80 pages po. 80 pages. Kaya madali po basahin. Pero pag nakikinig po kayo sa amin, ito rin po ang binabasa namin at nandito na po kami sa God's unsurpassable love. At ang bukang bibig ni Jesus Christ, the kingdom of God is here. Laging sinasabi niya yung kingdom of God na yun. Bukang bibig niya yung kingdom of God na yun. Kaya ano kaya yung kingdom of God na yun? Yun po ang pag-uusapan natin dito sa episode na ito. Chapter 6, God's unsurpassable love, section 4, the kingdom of God, at saka mystery po yun. Bago po tayo mag-umpisa, meron akong sharing dyan, Brother Joel. Tungkol sa kingdom of God. Alam mo, minsan, nanaginip ako. All of the sudden, ako ay 7 years old. Yun sa panaginip ko. Then, nakatingin ako sa, nakikita mo, Brother Joe, yung mga display ng mga kotse na malaking salamin. Hindi eksaktong salamin pag nanonood ka ng parang force field na pag nanonood ka ng science fiction, pag merong silang, hindi sila gumagamit ng salamin. It's a force field na separating one side to the other side. Parang gano'n ang tingin ko. Nakatingin ako dun sa loob, nakikita ko, may mga tao na mga nakaputi. Tapos may biglang babae, ang tingin ko sa kanya, about 5'7" or 5'9" na babae, na lumabas siya dun sa force field na yan, kalahating katawan. Tapos kinuha ako. Tapos inawakan akong gano'n, parang baby. Hindi na ako binitawan, Brother Joe. Nung bata pa ako kasi ang sakitin akong bata eh. Kaya ang mother ko laging nandyan na pinaalagaan ako. At pag maisip ko lang na mawawala ang mother ko, nanginginig ako. Para akong nagpapanik na terrified. I'm terrified sa English. Anong terrified sa Tagalog? Terrified. No? Takot na takot. Kaya lulukoyin ako. Mami mo aalis na. Iiwanan ka. Ako'y nanginginig na gano'n. Itong let's call her an angel siguro, whatever, o hinawakan ako, yung feeling ko, yung feeling na joy, Brother Joe, joy na hindi ko na felt dito sa mundo, na ayaw ko nang gumising. Brother Joe, nung nagising po ako, gusto kong bumalik na matulog at ayaw ko na magising. Tapos pinipilit kong matulog for several days. I look forward to it na matutulog ako doon at hindi na ako magigising. Kasi I would conclude na dahil doon sa na-feel ko, that would be the kingdom of God. Ayaw ko nang magising. Kaya sinabi ko na kay sa misis ko, kay Sister Olive ka kung gano'n. Pag gising mo tapos nakita mo ako na hindi na ako nagising, huwag kang malungkot ka kung gano'n. Kasi nandun ako sa, magsaya ka kasi nandun ako sa, at the same time, pinanghahawakan ko yung sinasabi ni Jesus Christ na, in my kingdom, there are many mansions, sinasabi niya, I will prepare a mansion for you, and I'm going to take you myself. Kaya sabi ko, pangako mo yan, Lord, alam mo naman na pag pinangako mo, kaya ako hindi natatakot pag kumaliskis doon sa sala namin. Sabi, Lord, andyan ka na ba? Tara na! At naalaala ko, sabi niya gano'n, unless you become like these little children, you will not enter the kingdom of God. Kaya naisip ko, ganun ba ibig sabihin ni Jesus Christ dito sa pakiramdam na ito? I hope to become like children, na innocent children, tapos kukunin ako, nararamdaman ko yung feeling na secured ka. Parang wala nang problema, wala nang nobody can harm you. Nandoon. Dalawang bagay po yun. Of course, dahil doon, gustong-gusto kong pupunta sa kingdom. Pero, ang maganda po doon is sample yun. Yung caring po ng ating Ama, ang kanyang unsurpassable love, mararamdaman po sa totohanan, mararamdaman natin dito sa mundo. If we have faith na pinipilit namin ni Brother Jung magkaroon.
Lahat tayo, meron tayong faith, no? Kaya lang hindi natin ino-open up. Ibang bukas na pinto, parang nakaganon lang nakaawang lang. Pag binuksan mo itong faith na to, mararanasan mo yung naranasan ni Kuya Jings. Hindi mo ma-describe Sa akin nangyari yan sa ibang pamamaraan na pagka kami nagkikwentuhan ni Jings. Merong joy at saka peace, no? Contentment, nandun lahat Masayang-masaya ka hindi mo mawari. Kasi yung faith na to, personal experience yan. You have to experience it personally. Ang karaniwan na ihahambing ko dyan, sabi ko doon ba sa mga carnival, di ba? Sabi ko pagka kayo sumakay nung roller coaster, kala mo pagka sumisisid yung roller coaster, kala mo kinakata yung mga tao, nagsisigawan sila, umihiyaw. Tapos pagbaba naman, ikaw naman nanonood sa labas, takot na takot ka. Pagbaba mo ganon, sabi ko, ba't ganon nagsisigawan kayo? Ang sarap Sabi, paano masarap? Basta masarap Paano nga? Sasabihin, sumakay ka. And this is it You have to experience God's love and He's trying His best, no? Kaya lang, dito sa mundo nga to, maraming diversion nakaka-distract sa atin. Itong mga program namin ito, and similar to this, is attempt to call your attention, to encourage you, no? Na maranasan nyo itong naranasan ng karamihan, marami. Hindi lang naman kami, hindi lang naman tayo. Na there is a better thing than whatever this world can offer. And this is personal experience, no? Makukuha niya personal experience. At yung mga magkikwento rito, kung magdadala tayo magkikwento, ubos na oras, hindi na kami makapagsalita. Lahat na gusto magbigay ng witnessing. So sa ating mga na sumusubaybay dito sa programang ito, pag-aralan nyo maigi at kumari on your own, tignan nyo yung mga Biblia na sinasabi namin sa inyo, no? Sabi nga, unless you are converted or become little children.
Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name, receiveth me. Suffer the little children to come unto me. Forbid them not. For of such is the kingdom of God. Verily I say unto you, whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of God as a little child shall in no wise enter therein.
Kasi ano ba ang pagkakaiba ng mga bata kaysa sa atin? Hindi tayo para maging isip bata, di ba? Itong mga batang to, kahit anong gawin nilang mali o tama, wala silang kasalanan, wala silang culpability. So we must put ourselves back. That's going to take effort. No? Kasi nag-iisip tayo, sabi, ba't ganito, ba't ganyan, ba't ganyan? Eh sinasabi sa'yo ni Diyos, ni Lord, maniwala ka lang. Hindi maipadawa na maniwala ka. Yan din sinasabi namin sa inyo. Yung experience namin, maniwala kayo. Maniwala kayo, hindi kayo maniwala sa amin. Kami, na-experience ko to, totoo sa akin ito. Like children. Walang question. Sasabihin mo sa Lord, sabi ni Lord, punta ka doon. Para bang kwento ko nung isang beses, no? Yung mga anak ko, itataas ko sa mataas. Sabi ko, tatalon eh. Pero ngayon, papuntay mo ako, sabi mo sa akin, ba't ako tatalon dyan? Magdadalawang isip ako, pero sila susunod eh. They will follow yung parents, no?
Oo nga eh. Yung ang bata, mas madali magkaroon ng faith. Pag sinabi mo, maniniwala agad. Okay, alam nyo, yung Kingdom of God, ilang beses sinasabi ni Jesus Christ, Kingdom of God ganito, Kingdom of God ganyan, Kingdom of God parang ganon. Kaya pumili lang po kami ng mga ilan na verses ni Jesus Christ. Yung pinili namin, yung, again, too good to be true. But true. Ito po ang unahin namin. Kay Matthew naman ito. Matthew, sabi ni Jesus Christ, ayon kay Matthew, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and hid. Nakuha niya, tapos tinago niya uli.
In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 13, Jesus told a story about buried treasure. This time, it was a parable to make people think.
The kingdom of heaven, said Jesus, is like treasure hidden in a field. Many centuries ago, during a time of war, the people were taken as prisoners, and a rich man who was running away from the enemy buried all his gold in a pot, hoping to come back later. If he was killed or taken prisoner, then the treasure would remain buried, perhaps forever, or until some fortunate person would find it. Hundreds of years went by, until one day a farm worker was in the field, and accidentally he discovered the pot. The farm worker was curious. Of course, this object might just be a piece of broken pottery thrown away many years ago. That was not unusual. It could be money, some copper coins perhaps. At least he could look and see what it was. It was incredible. A fortune. It was more than he could imagine. More than a man like him could earn in a whole lifetime of work. But legally, all this belonged to the present owner of the field. If he just took the treasure, he would be a thief. There was only one answer. If he could buy the field from its present owner, then everything on the land, including the treasure, would lawfully belong to him.
And for joy over it, he goes and sells all he has and buys that field.
He must get money. He must sell what he had. It was only a little piece of land, but he was poor. It would cost him literally everything he owned. These were things he had worked for, but now he seemed not to care. Everything was sold for cash. At last, he had just enough money to buy the field, and fortunately the owner was quite happy to sell it. The land was his, and legally, so was the treasure. He could hardly believe it. It was all his. Now he could buy 100 fields if he wanted to. He was richer than he could have ever dreamed.
Ang lahat ng pag-aari niya, nagreklamo nga yung asawa kasi pati yung wedding ring, kinuha, binenta lahat. Ngayon, kanya na yung field. Nandoon na yung treasure. Hindi niya ninakaw kasi pag ninakaw niya, hindi kingdom of heaven yun.
Jesus had made his point. Some things are so important, their value outweighs everything else you have.
Kaya ibig sabihin nito, ni Jesus Christ, lahat ng pag-aari natin, pwede natin ibenta para makuha lang natin yung Kingdom of Heaven na yun. Lahat.
Naalala mo yung batang entrepreneur na sabi pa paano ano pang gagawin niya? Di ba sabi ni Jesus, sell all you have and come follow me.
Yeah, similar yun.
Kaya
Kasi yung pagsunod kay Jesus Christ, yun din
nag-umpisa ka
yun.
na sa kingdom.
Kingdom. Which hindi natin maintindihan. Para makantam natin, we have to have faith, faith, faith. Tapos, dugtong yun in the same Matthew, didugtong niya, again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant seeking beautiful pearls, who, when he found one pearl of great price, went and sold all he had and bought it. Wow.
And then he told another story. The kingdom of heaven, said Jesus, is like a merchant seeking beautiful pearls. More than silver, more than gold, pearls were costly. Only the richest of the rich could afford the best, the finest pearls. Julius Caesar gave the mother of Brutus a pearl worth 6 million sesterces. Cleopatra possessed pearls worth 10 million sesterces. That was 6,000 years' wages for a working man. The merchant looking for beautiful pearls might go to many cities, and he always had a network of contacts looking for the best. This time, the merchant felt he had a good lead, but negotiating a deal could be difficult. The dealer was cautious. He knew that men would kill to obtain such a pearl as he had. The merchant must use both patience and diplomacy. To find jewellery, even fine gold jewellery, was not difficult. There were workshops which produced the most elegant gold filigree, craftsmen who could design and cut beautiful cameos. But to find a truly magnificent pearl could take a lifetime. This was the one. The pink pearls from the Red Sea were famous, but this was exceptional. This was what he had been searching for. But how much would it cost? The price was huge. It was impossible, far beyond his ability to pay. This pearl would cost him all he had. The merchant tried to bargain. Perhaps the dealer would lower the price. But the dealer would not come down, and the price was not unreasonable. At least the dealer might give him a little time to raise the money, and not sell the pearl to someone else.
Mampiperlas yun, Brother Joe. Mampiperlas, sabi ni Jesus. Mampiperlas, kaya alam niya yung halaga ng pearl. Kaya nung nakita niya, magkano ito? Great price eh. Sabi nung may-ari ng perlas, siguro nagbanggit ng amount na kulang ang pera niya. Kaya lang, because of the great value of the pearl, benenta na naman lahat ng kwan para makuha yung pearl which represents the kingdom of God.
The merchant went home. There was only one thing to do. He must sell everything, every object of value he possessed. Beautiful things he had taken years to collect, each one of them a treasure, but they must be sold to gain the pearl. Nothing must stop him now. Some things had sentimental value to him. Yesterday he would never have parted with them. They were part of his life. But these things seemed like trinkets compared to the pearl. He knew the value of these things, and he knew the value of the pearl. There was no comparison. Beyond the thrill of the pearl itself, he knew what it was worth. At last, everything had gone. But the great pearl would be his. It cost him far more than he had expected, but the pearl itself was more than he had imagined, and the price hardly seemed to matter. This is what he had looked for all his life, and it was worth more than he had paid. He was delighted. The great pearl belonged to him. This, said Jesus, this merchant finding a pearl, or the farmer finding a treasure, is like the kingdom of heaven. It is beyond comparison. It is worth everything you have and more.
So what is this kingdom of heaven or kingdom of God represented by the treasure and the pearl? More than anything else, it means the sovereign rule of God, both now and in the future, in this life and in the life to come. For the person who is a follower of Jesus Christ, the sheer joy of being in the will of God and experiencing the control of God is far more important than anything else. And after all, what's the alternative? As Jesus himself said, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul?
Kaya sabi ni Jesus, yan ang kingdom of God na sinasabi ko sa inyo, which is in you, which is within you, which is inside you. That's the kingdom of God. Sabi niya, ganon ang halaga nun. Mahalaga. Seek first the kingdom of God.
O ye of little faith, seek not ye what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God. And all these things shall be added unto you.
Kaya abang na hinahatambi yun, lahat ng kailangan nyo nandyan. Tapos ito pa, lahat na meron kayo, ibenta nyo. Pati itong aking salaming na John Lennon, kailangan ibenta para...
So ito, minsan kasi we become attached, no? Sa mga hindi na sa mga bagay na ano, tulad ng kayamanan o katanyagan, no? Masyado tayo attached diyan na ayaw nating mawala sa atin to. Samantalang doon sa langit, sikat na sikat ka. Pagka pumasok ka lang doon, lahat ng anghel pumapalakpak eh. Sa bawat kabutihan na ginagawa natin dito, nagkakasundo tayo, umaawit ang langit. Ito yung musika ng kingdom na yan. Yung mga kabutihan na dapat maganap dito. Ang makakaganap ng kabutihan lang dito, tao lang eh. At sila din ang pumipigil. Kaya sabi ni Jesus, pakawalan yan. Gawin nyo ganito ang buhay. Follow me. Tularan ninyo ako. Pati sa pag-iisip, tularan nyo ako paano mag-isip. Yan yung paulit-ulit. Persistent kami ni Kuya Jings dito, paulit-ulit sasabihin. Ito yan, hindi na tayo lalayo dyan. Ang mahalaga lang dito is yung effort natin na itaguyod dyan at puro sa kabutihan. At hindi lang doon. For the glory of Jesus Christ. Hindi para sa glory natin. Umiepal tayo, nagpaparsikat tayo. Hindi ganon. Para kay Lord ito. Kaya pagka sa ginagawa, tulad ng nanay ni Jesus Christ, sabi, tuturo namin kay Jesus, sundin nyo si Jesus. Sundin nyo si Jesus. Walang ibang iutos doon.
Oo nga.
This is my son, sabi ng Ama sa langit, this is my son.
Whom I love, this is my son, follow him, sabi niya gano'n.
Follow him.
Kaya napakaganda eh. Kaya kami excited lagi, makulit kami ni Brother Joe dito sa ONENESS na ito. Kasi lahat ng sinasabi namin, napakagandang words ni Jesus Christ. Kaya ang huling-huling, bago tayo mag-wrap up, ang huling-huling babasahin namin tungkol po sa Kingdom of God is ito po yung sinasabi natin na vineyard owner, na it is our desire that matters. Ito po, babasahin ko po Matthew 20. The kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out to hire laborers for his vineyard. Tapos, he agreed with the laborers for a denarius a day. Ibig sabihin no, alas 8 ng umaga siguro yun. Kaya denarius a day. Tapos, umpisa na sila na nagtatrabaho sa vineyard. On the third hour, siguro 11, tanghali, he saw others standing idle. Sabi niya, nakatayo doon. Sabi niya, nakaupo kayo dyan na you also work in my vineyard. And whatever is right, I will give you. Sabi niya, okay naman. Sige, babayaran naman tayo siguro kung ano yung trabaho natin. Sabi ng mga tao, babayaran tayo. Ganon. Walang overtime. Again, on the 6th hour, he did the same thing. Ibig sabihin nun na yung mga medyo tanghali na, o kaya after lunch na yon, nakakita na naman, kinuha na naman, napakabait itong landowner na ito. Parang pinoportray niya na tayo, kahit anong oras, kinukuha tayo ng ating Panginoon. Tapos, nung huli, ito maganda about the 11th hour, but anyway, ibig sabihin nun, patapos na 11th hour, he found others standing. He said, "Why have you been standing here idle all day?" Ito yung mahalaga. Sabi nila, "Because no one has hired us." Wala pong kumukuha sa aming magtrabaho. Hindi niya dinugtong yung, pero gusto namin magtrabaho. Hindi naman nila sinabing, ayaw namin magtrabaho Hindi, no one has hired us. Gusto namin magtrabaho, pero walang kaya sabi niya, "You go into the vineyard too." Punta rin kayo kasama ng mga doon sa vineyard. Kawasan. Pagdating ng gabi, evening, when the evening came, the owner paid each a denarius. Alam, ang denarius kasi yun ang yan ang sweldo ng isang araw. Talagang standard yun standard wage nung araw ng denarius a day. Ngayon, kamukha nung lost son natin, nag-complain. Siguro dahil sa inggit, samantalang hindi naman sila nalamangan kung anong usapan. Sabi niya gano'n. When the owner came, the owner paid each one a denarius. Those hired first grumbled, saying, "This man worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us who have borne the heat of the day." But he answered, "Sabi, wala naman akong ginagawang masama. Hindi ba ang usapan natin ni isang denaryo? Binigyan ko naman sa inyo. No? Masama ba yung pera ko naman, ibibigay ko rin yung dito sa mga nagtrabaho ng araw? Parang alms, whatever, bonus," sabi niya gano'n. "Is it not lawful for me to do what I wish with my own? Or is your eyes envious because I'm generous?" Ito yung malinaw naman na talagang
nainggit ba kayo?
nainggit sila.
Ako'y maluwag?
Yun. Kaya po, ang tandaan po natin lesson dito is yung desire natin. If we desire, naka-payroll na po tayo kaagad doon. Desire pa lang. Palagay ko kahit na hindi nagtrabaho, gusto namin magtrabaho.
Puntos ka na.
Siguro kahit na parang gusto namin magtrabaho, Lord, kaya lang gabi na pauwi na sila lahat, magtatrabaho pa ba kami? Sasabihin ni Jesus Christ, sige, basta gusto niyo magtrabaho, sige, bayaran ko na lang kayo. It is the desire. What is important.
Yung pinento ko sa iyo kanina, nung isang linggo, na binigyan niya ng A for effort.
A for
May effort Gustong yung desire. Diyan tayo magsisimula. We have to desire it. Because pagka nagkaroon ka ng desire, then you have to do something about it. Kung totoo yung desire mo, you will start to look. Kikilos ka Wala namang na-invento na nag-invento, nag-iisip, tapos hindi kumilos Kailangan maging totoo yan, to actualize, no? Magiging totoo. Yung sinabi nga ng Diyos, sinambit niya, mangyayari. Sabi ng hari, mangyayari. Ganito rin tayo, kasi bawat isa sa atin, kung wala tayong ginawa, kundi mangarap, bangungot yun. Pero kung mangangarap tayo, gagawin natin, lalo na sa tulong ng Diyos. Siya lang naman makapagbigay sa atin ng tulong. Yung mga idea, siya rin nagbibigay. Ikilos tayo. Unlad tayo doon sa inaasahan natin. Dagdagan natin ng mga sarili nating yaman, yung sipag natin, katapatan natin, walang makakakuha niyan. Tayo lang ang gagamit niyan. So, ganun din yung katapatan natin sa Diyos. Yung pagsunod natin, walang makakakuha niyan. Yung sipag, yung sigasig ni Brother Jings kay nasunde si Jesus, hindi ko makakagawin.
Kakulitan.
Oo. So, pero pareho kami maging masigasig. Kanya-kanya yan. Pero pagkasabay kami, may harmony. Yan ang totoong sigasig, no? May harmony. Dito sa kingdom ng God na to, kasama tayo ang lumilikha nito. Simula pa nung umalis si Jesus Christ. Tandaan nyo, si Jesus Christ, 2,000 years lang nawala, ha? Sa panahon ng Diyos, 2 araw lang yon. Ha? Sinabi ni Pedro yan. Yung 1,000 years ng tao, 1 day lang sa Diyos. So, parang kahapon lang pala. Di ba? Parang kahapon lang siya, balik si Jesus. Pabalik na nga eh. On the 3rd day, babalik siya. Nakakadalawang araw pa lang tayo. Kasi umakyat sa langit.
Kaya pala yung ating buhay na 80 years, o pagpalagay mo na 100 years, sa 1,000 years, is split second. Seconds lang sa pan natin na balang.
Huwag natin aksayan yun.
Why? Bakit tayo mag-aalala? Eternal life naman yung ating patutunguhan. Na, like I said, ako po natutuwa at mayroong mga manifestation sa akin na I know what to expect. I felt it. Tapos, naniniwala ako dun sa sinasabi ni Jesus Christ na talagang kukunin tayo. Siya mismo ang kukuha.
Hindi kasi natin alam yung invisible reality, yung mga spirito, no? Pero ayon sa mga nabasa ko, sabi ko, magtataka tayo na pag-akyat natin sa langit, miski iba't ibang taon tayo naglakbay, dating natin doon sabay-sabay. Kasi sa Diyos walang panahon eh. Sa panahon ng Diyos, sa kanyang kingdom, it's today. Today is today.
I love you more today than yesterday. Okay. So on that statement of Jesus Christ, of Brother Joe, nauutal na kami lagi nga sa kakulitan. Kami po ay magpapaalam. But napupunan nyo po na masaya ang ating palatuntunan. At bakit hindi masaya? Kasi ang sinasabi natin masaya tungkol sa ating Panginoon. Wala pang mas masayang pag-uusapan kaysa doon sa tungkol sa Word of God. So, ito po ulit si Brother Jings. Nagpapasalamat sa inyong panonood at nagpapaalam po sa inyo pansamantala.
At ako naman po si Kuya Joe, ang inyong kaibigan na narito. Kakaibigan ko rin. Kaya lahat tayo sama-sama. One. Magkaisa tayo ng pinupuntahan natin. At sa pag-iisip natin, magkaisa tayo. Ang poste natin si Jesus Christ, siya lang ang Lord. Maraming salamat po.